Lizzie Hackney. I'm the lead intergenerational missioner across Hereford Diocese, but I'm also now the Youth Hub lead as well. This project started over 2 years ago as we reflected on our findings from the Intergenerational Missioner Project, but also started to really pray into what would help young people across South Shropshire and Herefordshire to encounter God, to grow and to support one another, to support their local community and to really become disciples of Jesus Christ. We're really aware that as a diocese we reach our primary schools and we do lots of great children's work and intergenerational work, but there are people asking for more support with youth work, particularly secondary age, all the time. And so this project came about.
My name is David Morris and I'm the Programme Manager for Hereford Diocese. The Youth Hub project in Hereford Diocese is aimed at bringing a step change to youth ministry across the diocese, but also to develop a model for engaging with young people with the good news of Jesus, both across this diocese and across the Church of England in rural contexts. There are 3 key aims to the project. The first one is to ensure that every young person has a thriving worshipping community within easy access. Secondly, that each area develops a strategy and an engagement plan for young people. And thirdly, that every church has access to high quality training and support.
Our vision for this project is really about what would work within a rural context where we don't have many trained youth workers already, where young people are dispersed across geographical locations, but where there's a real heart to serve the local community and get to know Jesus. The spark for this vision really came about through imagining what would rural youth work look like and how could we work together across deaneries, across parish boundaries, with the support of partners from outside nationally and with the support of diocese, working with local parishes to enable young people to come together across that geographical area. There seems to be more work than we can do, which is why I'm so pleased that already we are putting people in place, our programme manager and our youth hub coordinator and our youth pioneers. We're starting to put those people in place because actually God is doing some amazing work.
My name is Heather Martin and I'm the new youth hub coordinator. Part of my role is going to be connecting with various churches around 4 deaneries between Leominster, Kington and Webley, Pontesbury and Clun Valley, and seeing what they're doing with young people, where the relationships are building with young people and where the opportunities are. I'll also be looking to resource and train different parishes and their laity in working with young people to connect with them and to reimagine church for younger generations.
I'm the Reverend Nick Gurney and I'm the Youth Pioneer for the Bishop's Castle Youth Hub. My role is to oversee and run the Bishop's Castle Youth Hub to enable new youth-orientated worshipping communities to develop and support young people on their journey through life.
I think in terms of the impact that I'd love to have within my role is really challenging churches and congregations to reimagine what church could look like for younger generations. There's a massive culture gap between inside the church walls and where the young people are outside the church walls and how they perceive church. But if we can recapture what church could look like for younger generations and where everyone in the church fits into that and has a place, I think is really important. And I'd love to see churches get on board with that.
So we wanted to give a clear message to the national church that we care about rural youth work and we think that it can happen. We believe that it can happen. And so we put together a research pilot that the national church funds for us alongside diocesan and parish funding to enable us to begin that journey on what does rural youth work look like. as your lead intergenerational missioner, I've been in the diocese for 8 years, but now I find there are more churches asking for support with young people and youth work than I've ever had before. So I think the greatest challenge is keeping everything together, recognizing all the jobs that need doing, but most of all communicating well. And that's where we need your support and help. Talk about the youth hubs, ask about them, pray about them, share the good news about what we're starting out in doing. As the national church launched their priorities for our whole church across the nation for the next 10 years, young people were really at the heart, and prayer was the way that they began to prepare. So they put out a call over a year ago now to gather people to pray for doubling the number of children and young people across the Church of England. But interestingly, we as a diocese had already started to journey together in prayer through our year of prayer. And so in all of those intergenerational mission places and across the network of children's and youth leaders, we started to pray as well. And as a mission and ministry team, we started to pray and say, what is it that God is calling us to put into place that will help children and young people to grow up into faith throughout their whole lives? Our youth hubs are part of a piece of research to help us to learn how to serve young people and to serve God in our communities. So there are learning outcomes that ask questions around how can young people grow in faith? How can they be connected to the local church more? How can they grow in leadership? How can we grow leaders for young people? How do we release different callings within our diocese, lay and ordained, and how do we all work together? So part of the outcomes of this project are all around research, but there are also outcomes around growing new worshipping communities, enabling youth ministry to happen in each of the areas that reach all the young people that we have in our diocese, and also outcomes around connecting the different things that we do so that we are creating discipleship pathways, journeys of faith for everybody who we are living in community with in Hereford Diocese.
Ask the question, how can people help? How can you get involved? Well, you might be a parent, you might be a grandparent, you might live on an estate or a road where young people are your neighbours. You each have a part to play, whether it's praying for a young person by name, checking in with them on a Sunday morning when you see them in church, or when you walk past them on the street or in the corner shop. Each of you has a part to play, and I want to help you to find that place where you can serve.
My prayer for this project is to see many young people, but not just young people, but also churches, church congregations, and many people just be encouraged and inspired in their faith, to see churches working together in meeting young people's needs and developing and nurturing their faith.
My hope for this project is that God will take us on another amazing journey. My hope is that we will be a church of all ages and all backgrounds, reflective of our communities. And my prayer is that every child and young person will have access to youth ministry, to church life, to worshipping communities, to being able to make a difference where they are, no matter what their age and where they are in their journey of faith. And my real prayer is that you will be part of this wonderful journey too.